Hey, welcome to your Libra horoscope for the week of July 23rd to July 29. We are going to kick off this week with the moon in Libra because, why not? There's so much craziness going around everywhere. You might as well just, I don't know, contribute. You might as well, right? You got to have fun every now and then. Contribute to the craziness every now and then. Yes, we do have the moon. We're kicking off the week with the moon in your sign, focused on inner trauma, which is not pleasant. We have Venus, which is your ruling planet, going retrograde at the same time on the same day. Venus is the planet of love going retrograde in Leo, which is the planet that represents ego, which is basically where all of our love issues are coming from in the world right now, as people are living from their egos and not from their souls, from their hearts, from their emotional centers. It's very much conditional love, and there's a lot of narcissism. There's a lot of using love to manipulate other people. It really is kind of disgusting, to be honest with you, to think of just how many issues we have around something that should be a no-brainer, if that makes sense. But we're human, so nothing is a no-brainer, right? So we're going to look at, first of all, Sunday, the moon in your sign, focused on inner trauma and in opposition with Neptune. Neptune is focused on your day-to-day schedule. So I feel like this represents some triggers of things that could be coming up that is disrupting your schedule. So either you're dealing with some narcissistic traits that you've dealt with before that can be triggers, or you're dealing with somebody who claims to love, who have loved you, and it turns out it looks like they don't, or they really do love you, but you have an argument with them, and you go into that, oh my God, they don't love me anymore place. These are the kinds of things that will play out, and it disrupts your entire day, right? And you want to avoid, obviously, that as much as you possibly can. But we just can't always do that now, can we? The good news is that the moon lines up in a sextile with the sun, as well as a trine with Pluto. The sun's focus is on career. Pluto's focus is on the home, and it's retrograde. So we're not really able to make any changes in the home, which is actually a good thing, because it sort of frees up our time to be able to focus on other things. So bottom line is that, emotional disruptions happen. They can take over your entire day. That's always possible, but they don't have to. That is entirely within your control. So if you look at it that way, it does make it a little bit easier. As we move into Monday, the moon is still in your sign, but in a much easier place. And we're no challenges with other planets at this point. We are looking at a sextile with Mercury, which is in conjunction with your retrograde Venus there. So, and this time the moon's focus is on self. We're bringing this sort of, it's, to me, what this looks like is I just went through a huge emotional release over an individual in my life that has always been challenging for me. And the next day is time for me to reflect back, to make sure that I have learned the lesson, that I'm not harboring any more ill feelings towards this individual than I need to be, because if I am, then I didn't learn the lesson. In many ways, this is just, sometimes it's nothing more than to just take a look and try and see how you're a little bit different after letting that great big giant burden go. And that's what this represents to me in terms of the moon's placement being on self. With your focus on self for the rest of the week, this is going to continue on for the rest of the week. With your focus on focus on self, or self-care, is not being selfish. It's not being stingy with your time. It's making sure that you are taken care of as much as you're taking care of everybody else. So with this happening at the beginning of the week, it gives you a chance to really make sure that you're not putting yourself in that situation again with other people, that you are looking at the situation the way it is and not the way maybe your fear is perceiving it to be, and just kind of taking stock of where you are and where you want to be, kind of a thing, and making sure that your self-care practices are on point. I think of all the signs in the zodiac, Libras need to hear this every single day, because Libras are the sacrificial sign of the zodiac. Every single one of them I've ever known sacrifices themselves to everybody, literally. As long as everybody else is happy, I'm happy, which is the biggest lie they tell themselves. So self-care has a lot to do with this as well. It's about being honest with yourself, and it's about really making sure that you are taking care of you. And that's not just a bubble bath on a bad day. That's not just going to the salon because you like pretty toes. That's also about your health. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you drinking enough water? Are you eating enough vegetables? Are you exercising enough? Self-care is what it is. It is self-care while you're caring for other people as well. So here's the word, guys. It's all about balance. It all comes down to balance, making sure that you're putting equal parts into both places, which, of course, I know you guys are doing. So a little bit crazy in the beginning of the week, but then it smooths out and it's not quite so bad. Things don't have to be as hectic as we sometimes make them out to be. So that's what I have for you guys this week. I know you guys are going to do amazing. You always do. Honestly, Libras are some of my favorite, absolute favorite people, really. I married one, so that might be why I have an unbiased opinion. But honestly, I've met other Libras, and they are some of my favorite people, really, to kind of hang out with and converse with and all that stuff. And I'm sure that's not going to change anytime soon. Yes, that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do click the link in the description and send me a copy. I would just really appreciate that. And you guys are going to kick some butt this week. Do a good job, and I will see you guys next week. Make it a great week, everybody.